boys and girls? We're going to be talking in math this week about things that are heavier and lighter. I think you already know a lot about that. So we're going to be mixing that with what we've been talking about animals in winter. I think it's nice when we can combine a couple of things because then our brains will grow even more. So first, let's do the math part of it, and then I've got something for you to make. Okay? Let's think about the animals in some of the stories we've been reading. Remember Jambret's the mitten? Do you remember which animal was the heaviest animal? It didn't tell us, did it? But I bet you can figure it out. There's a mouse, and a hedgehog, and an owl, and a mole, and a fox, and a bear, and... Did you say the bear? The bear was the heaviest animal. You're right. Which one do you think was the lightest? That's right, the littlest one that came in at the end. That would have been the lightest, the mouse. Very good. So we'll talk a little bit more about mice and bears in a moment. Let's think about something else. If Miss Rudd has a card, just a little card, in one hand, and I have this book in the other hand, one of them is heavier and one of them is lighter. What do you think? I would not want my book to fall on me. It's very heavy. If my card fell on me, that wouldn't be a problem. It is lighter. Heavy, light. Heavier, lighter. Now, sometimes you don't have the item you want to talk about right in front of you. You know, sometimes you have to think about it and you have to make decisions. Like, let's talk about a rock and a feather. Even a very small rock is heavier than a feather. That's true. Well, today you are going to be working on page 27 to show me what you know already about heavy and light. So there's room for your name, because we always like to practice our name, don't we? There's also room for the date. If you want to write the date, I will put it here. January is the first month of the year, so we make a 1, and I put a little dash. A dash is a sideways line, and then we put the number of the day. And let's see, I'm a little ahead of myself. Today is Tuesday, the 19th. How do you write 19? 1, 9. So if you choose to put the date there, and it's a choice, that's what it would look like. Now, the question says, which is heavier? Circle the object that is heavier than the other. A book or a pair of scissors? A piece of paper or a pen? A teddy bear or a real bear? A sneaker or a sock? A balloon or, I think it's a tennis ball? A piece of watermelon or a strawberry? Now, parents, as you're doing this with your child, if your child is really struggling with heavier or lighter, please let me know, all right? Because we can do many more activities with this, but if we can kind of move through this, that would be great. Now, this is the packet you will need. We are going to be making, oh, can you see? Yes, it's going to be a black bear. It's a New Hampshire black bear because we have these in New Hampshire. So, you need your toolkit, and I am getting out my scissors. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the parts. What do you think that shape is like? If you said oval, you are right. And I'm cutting all around the edges, and I keep turning my paper so my scissors can point to the sky. And I know you can't see, but thumbs up. I'm doing it this way so you can see that I'm trying to stay on the lines. So I have my oval, and I'm going to put it on my whiteboard, and I'm going to continue to cut. This shape is a rectangle, but it has rounded corners, so it's not really a rectangle. And I have a head, and I have 4 legs. What I like to do before I cut them out is I cut around the head like this to get it off. And then I'm going to cut apart my legs, but I'll go back and cut on the lines. All right, so I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to cut out all my pieces, and I will show you when I'm done how to fit them together. All right, so I'll see you in a minute. If you want to cut yours while you're waiting, that would be great. Pause the video. Okay, I've got all my pieces ready, and I'm going to get my glue stick out, and I'll show you how to put this together. He's kind of cute. He might look good on your wall somewhere, or on your refrigerator. So first I'm taking the rectangle with the rounded corners, which means it's not really a rectangle, but I think you get it. And I'm going to put him here, and I'm going to take my 4 legs, and I'm going to make it so it looks like the bear is walking. Now this is the back, that's how I'm imagining it. So I'm going to put some glue and a leg, and he's going to be walking that way. So I'm going to make all the legs go that way. And because I want him to look like he's walking, I'm going to make it go like this. Now you might want your bear to look like he's standing still, and that's okay too. Glue, and I'm going to keep all the legs moving this way and this way. There we go. So there's his legs. He's taking a little stroll. Now that's the back. I wanted all my legs on the back, so now I'm going to flip it over. And now he looks like he's walking this way, which is good too. Now I want to put the head on. Head's going to go here. I don't want to put glue all over the head because then I'll stick it to my board or you'll stick it to your table. So I'm just going to put glue here in the corner part. And I'm going to decide how I want it to be. Yeah, I kind of like that. I think he looks good. And then this is his muzzle, because all black bears have that nice white or tan part. I'm going to put it there. It kind of goes near the bottom, not really in the middle. And you know what I'm noticing? He needs a tail, but Miss Red didn't make a tail. So look at this. I have scraps left over. I'm going to grab a scrap. I don't even need a big scrap, because a bear's tail is kind of just little. I think it's like a little poof. So I'm cutting off the parts I don't think look like a tail. And then I'm going to put a little glue on the edge. I'm going to tuck it under. Oh, now I think he looks a little more like a bear. I like him that way. But you can decide. Now I'll show you how I've decided to make the face. And of course you're going to do it with a crayon. His eyes are up there, so you can't do that. This is just where his nose is going to be. And I kind of like to do an upside down triangle. Color it in. And I go one side and the other side. I'll make a couple little dots. To me, that looks pretty much like how a bear's mouth should look. His eyes are tricky. Now remember, in your toolkit, you have a little bit of chalk. If you want to cut eyes out of your scrap paper, you can. I'm going to try it this way. I'm going to make an oval like this, and an oval like this. Okay, that looks okay, but he doesn't look like he can see me. He's got big old white eyes. So that's when I take my crayon and I give him some pupils. There, now he looks like he can see me. I'm pretty happy with my bear. Now remember, the bear is very heavy. If you wanted to use some of your scraps and make something that's light, a little mouse, you could do that. I'm not going to do that today, but use your scraps. And you know what? There were some scraps that were in your, that were left over from the snowman, right? You could make a heavy animal and a lighter animal, but you don't have to. Today's assignment is to make the bear. I can't wait to see what yours looks like, and I hope you find a good place to hang it, because that's what I'm going to do. See you soon, boys and girls.